Hey, Mayday to you guys out there. Hey, today, chicken parmesan with a little bit of homemade sauce. Well, kind of homemade. I'm using some canned tomatoes, then adding some things that, I didn't grow, but who knows? It's going to turn out great anyway. We know that. Anyway, first I'm going to show you how to make your own little sauce. You can use a canned sauce like the Big Ragu, or you can simply just get yourself a can of 28-ounce diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes. If you get diced tomatoes, you're going to have to blend them up a little bit, which is what I will be doing. And then I'm going to add some garlic, probably about 4 or 5 cloves of chopped garlic. And right here, chopped up about a half an onion. We're going to saute that in some olive oil, let it get nice and soft. Then we'll add our garlic and our sauce and let that cook down. Add a little bit of oregano and some homegrown, actually, off my own rosemary plant. I'll be chopping some of that rosemary, just a little tint to put in there. And I'm going to add a little bit of, this stuff is a can of gold. This is contadina paste, tomato paste, and it is the basil, garlic, and oregano herb in it. And guys, if you can find this, you found gold. So if you see it, it's hard to find sometimes, but if you see it on your grocery shelf, grab it, stock up. Trust me, I got a bunch of it because it makes a difference in your flavor and your taste. But let's get to right now showing you the chicken. The chicken right here, we're going to cut these up. This is about enough for 4 cutlets. We'll cut them to about equal size. And first things first, let's get the sauce going. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, always, when doing chicken, I always have a sink full of hot soapy water with some chlorine in it, and or Clorox or whatever you want to call it, bleach. But anyway, I'm going to take an emulsion mixer, and this could be a disaster, so be very careful if you ever attempt this at home. And I won't say do not try it at home. You want to try it, but it could end up on your ceiling, your walls, and your floors. So be very careful. Real gentle, like you're holding a baby bird. Whoa. Now these are diced, so I'm not going to go a full route and really just making, a crazy liquid pureed all the way down to a fine drinking liquid. And I want it a little bit thick because it's our sauce. So. Okay, I think we have it. Give this a little rinse-o. Excuse my reach here. And we're back. So, what did we learn? Well, we learned that we don't have to clean up tomato sauce all over our kitchen by going nice and slow and gentle. So, let's get to cooking. Get cracking. New Seattle hockey team, their last name or their nickname is the Kraken. So people in Seattle, they're saying, let's get cracking. Bad joke, dad joke, I guess. Anyway, so I'm going to grab me a 3-quart pot because I don't have a 2-quart pot. And this is probably a little bit overkill for this amount of sauce. Okay, but I don't care. Makes no difference to me. Look at that, extra virgin olive oil. Looks like I'm almost out. But we need 2 tablespoons of that going on about a medium heat right off the bat. So let's get that to coat the bottom. We only want enough to anyway to get the onions sauteed, because we're going to get the onions to the point where they're nice and soft and caramelized. A raw onion in here biting into it. Some may like it. I don't, but that's up to you. You're the cook. So anyway, got our olive oil in. Okay, and once we get this up a little bit to temperature, we'll add our onions going in. So I don't know why the camera shut off, but the onions are going in, and we're definitely letting them go ahead and just get happy in there and get them to the point where they're nice and caramelized. These are diced, so it's not going to take a long time. But one thing you don't want your onion to do is burn, because then it gives off a bitter taste, and that's the same way with the garlic. Okay, we've got our onions cooked down to a point in the garlic or the olive oil right now to the point where we're about ready to add our tomato paste, or not our tomato paste, but our tomato sauce that you saw with the little mixer that I used. And once we do that, then we just have the garlic to throw in. Got to stir in some, a little bit of salt too we're going to use. We'll use kosher salt. And then we're going to go with the oregano. And at the end, I have some basil in the freezer that I'll chop up a little bit and add to the sauce. I'll tell you what, fresh basil from the garden or a plant that you might have grown, that makes all the difference in the world in a pasta sauce. And I'm a firm believer in go to the store, buy a couple seeds, get a little pot, put them in. You can grow it in the house. It's an herb. And it's always great to be able to pick fresh and to chop up and add to any pasta sauce. And it does make a difference even chop it up and add it in your meat when you make meatballs, because it makes it, it's such a flavor. Looks like right now it's time to add our sauce. So, adding the sauce, let's turn the camera a little bit. Be careful adding the sauce. Stir that in. Well, that smells good already. That is some good smelling stuff. Okay, now, with that in place, let's get the garlic. The garlic's going to add the, what do they call that? The resist peston in French. It's going to add what we need. So let's do it. Who knows that phrase? That's from Guga. Guga's a master at cooking steak and beef and all that stuff. If you ever watch his channel, he does a lot of dry aging and things like that. But I've never seen Guga cook chicken parmesan and make his own sauce. He needs to do that one of these days. Anyway, this sauce, now that it's gotten what it's got, you want to turn the heat up to about medium high. And we're going to put a lid on kind of halfway. And the reason we don't want to put it on all the way is because we don't want the steam to turn into water and roll back down and water down our sauce. That's not good. So we'll keep it, the lid half cocked on our thing. But first we've got to put in some tomato paste. And I'm going to throw in a heaping, helping. Geez, I got a red shirt on. But I'm going to throw in a heaping helping of tomato paste and get that to stir in. That will add thickening and some unbelievable flavor to your sauce. Some people, even in their spaghetti sauce, they like to add Parmesan cheese. I'm not going to do that, but if you want, it's your sauce. You can do what you want. Anyway, let's get this little bit of rosemary that I took, and I mean a very little bit. I don't want a lot of rosemary in here, but I'm just going to kind of, between my fingers, it's so dry, it's like a pine needle, Christmas tree pine needle, about, I don't know, on New Year's Day when your tree's about been up the whole month of December and you're ready to take it down. So it just crumbles. You just crumble it, get it in there, and now just put your oregano. I'm going to go with oregano probably about that much. And when I mean that much, I mean about that much, right about there. Okay, we're gonna get this stirred in. And as we stir it in, let it cook. We're gonna put the lid on it now. And we're going to let it just simmer on the stove and make the chicken parm. So guys, I hope you do something like this for your homemade sauce. It's very easy to do, and I think it turns out, probably really, really good. Well, I know it turns out really, really good, but I think you're going to like it. I just got splattered, which isn't really, really good. So when it gets splattered, turn down the heat. We don't want to see that roaring like that. Good stuff. Anyway, I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to clean up a little bit around here, and then we're going to do our chicken cutlet. So stick around. Okay, guys, now got the chicken here, 2 chicken breasts out. I'm just going to split them in half, and I think the thing to do is just split them right in half, make them even, and once we do that, old Jed's a millionaire. Going to have 2 even chicken breasts. So let's get cracking. And with this, I mean, you really aren't going to have to pound them out unless you really want to. I think that that's going to be perfectly okay. Cut a little bit of the fatty, yucky yellow out of there. And those will do up nicely. So let's go ahead and cut this one. Trim it up a little bit here. Don't want that chicken fat on there. Give this a nice cut in half. And there we have it. Got them nice and fored up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one came out looking like a piece of salmon. Look at that one. Anyway, it'll still be good. So, wash my hands off, get this nasty chicken off me right there. It's time to put together our little dredge. So I'll be back to show you that here in 2 seconds. Told you. Now guys, in the sauce I did add a little bit of black pepper, some kosher salt like I told you, and I chopped up some of my frozen basil that I had from a plant I grew here and added that. And what I did, I took the rest of that can of tomato paste, I just added it all in. I've tasted it, it tastes great. Some people like to add a little bit of sugar if it gets a little salty or not a refined taste in their mouth, or a good taste or a bitter taste. You can try adding a little bit of sugar, not too much. If you add a little at a time. Taste it, give it a while to cook. As it cooks, the taste will change, okay? So, set up our dredging station. Let's get to that. Check this out. So now, in our dredging station, we've got 2 eggs, we've got flour, 2 eggs, and I moved that the wrong way. I'm seeing things backwards. And Italian seasoning, breadcrumbs. Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. So let's go ahead and hurry up and scramble up a couple eggs here. One thing I want to get is a plate, because after I dredge these things in the seasoning, the breadcrumbs, I'm going to need to put them on a plate and let them rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes. That's what you always want to do, so the breadcrumbs have a chance to really get sticking. Okay? Notice I didn't say get cracking. Anyway, simple. Go with your flour. Some people use tongs. You can use whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Try to keep one hand, out of the flour and out of the muck. Just get that nice and seasoned. I didn't season any of my flour. Get it nice and floured. Dredge it in your egg here. Let that egg drip off. Then go ahead on your breadcrumbs. Take your unadulterated hand that hasn't been in the egg or anything, or in the flour. Go ahead and throw some of that on there. Pull it up, and there you have it. One nicely covered piece of chicken. Something that you can do, and I think I'm going to do it, is in your seasoning mix, your breadcrumbs. If you've got Parmesan, I don't have fresh grated Parmesan, but I do have some pretty doggone, Parmesan that you get at the store, and sort of in a bottle. So you can go ahead and take that and just add that Parmesan in there. Okay. So if you have someone that really doesn't like a lot of cheese, then kind of just do the first one or the second one without it, and then add it. But as you can see, I'm a big lover of Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to go ahead and add that right now and do these next ones. And then we'll have a plate full of them. So now guys, here's what we got. We've let our chicken rest. We've breaded them all with the Italian seasoning, breadcrumbs, and we've got 4 nice chicken breasts that have rested right here. So now, nothing done, nothing left but the cooking. Now, how are we going to cook these? Butter. And a little bit of oil in the butter so it doesn't burn. I'm going to brown them right now in the frying pan. Then we'll remove them. We'll put them over here in a saucepan. But first, let's get the browning. Get nice and hot. So our breadcrumbs, we don't want to put it in there unless that pan's nice and hot, because if you do, the butter is just going to do a number on your breadcrumbs, soak them and make them soggy. So you want that butter nice and hot. So I'm going to brown these up, and when they're done, we'll be ready to sauce them, cheese them, and put them in the oven. Wanted to show you what we're looking for before when we flip them. Kind of want them to come out nice and golden brown. That's how I tilted that down to get some more butter over here. That's all. We're not cooking in this pan, guys. We're browning the breadcrumbs, okay? The cooking is going to be done in the oven. So you don't have to. When the breadcrumbs are nice and toasty brown, like they are now, then you're ready, set, go. Try not to get black. You're not going for blackened, you know. You're going for nice and toasty breadcrumbs. So now with our chicken nice and golden brown and coming out looking delicious, it's time to sauce these bad boys and cheese them. So let's get started with that. Pull the cheese out. I keep a nice container of cheese right here, mozzarella. Don't look at that. Go ahead and look. I don't care. No, don't look at that. That's not what the show's about. Come on. Come on. Take some of your sauce. Start this off with your sauce. Get 2 nice good golden scoops in there, golden red scoops. Oh yeah. It's getting late. Anyway, get your pan nice and sauteed. And now, next, take your chicken. I'm using my hand. You can use your feet. I don't care. It's your dish. Add your chicken onto the sauce. These are a little bit big, so they might overlap a little bit. Yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. Sound like I'm talking to a dog or a kid. Anyway, so we get to that point. Can you see that? Get over here. Get over here and get a look. So when we get to that point, the best thing to do now is a little more sauce. I like sauce. I like a lot of sauce. But if you only like a little bit, do it your way. Then we take our hidden good and delicious stuff, our mozzarella. Let's get back over here. This cheese is the gooeyest. You get it at Walmart and the big bags. It freezes very well and it lasts a long time. So you can keep it in your refrigerator like I do and go from there if you like. One thing I forgot to do, I'm going to add probably a little bit of parsley. Now you can do fresh parsley if you have it. I do have it. It's in my freezer though, and I don't feel like thawing it and cutting it up, but I'm just going to do a little bit fresh parsley right on the top here. I don't know if you can see the colors, but sort of like the Italian flag, red, green, and white. Red, white, and green. Say that 100 times fast. All right, so once we get to this point, nothing left but the oven. Let's do it. Let's do it. So let's get that oven door open. Let's get these bad boys in at 350. Gonna let them bake on the center rack uncovered. We're gonna let them go for about 20 minutes. So 25 minutes. I'm gonna go 25 minutes, okay? So when the 25 minutes is up, old Jed's a millionaire. Okay, y'all, it's about time. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna kind of reach on in there and pull it out. Wait, before we do that, I need you to be looking down here. Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Ooh, doggy, Uncle Jed. Would you look at that? Woo! Now that is done. Hey, thank you, timer. Time for timer. Anyway, let's take a look at what we have here. We've got, ooh, baby. Now, guys, you saw what it took to make that. Doug, you're retired now. Make that for Becky. Valentine's Day, perfect gift for them. Guys, you can make that for your ladies. Ladies, you can make that for your men. You saw how easy it was, and it's going to be delicious. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull some out, and we're going to take a bite and see how she is. It's smoking hot, though, but I don't care. That's just the way it's going to be. Take a dish. Get it in there. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. I'm a chicken parm nut from way back when I used to live in Parm, Ohio. I actually did in my college days. Now look here. Now look over here. Now look at this. Remember cooking with Jan? Jan can cook. Look at this. Anyway, we're going to take a little piece of that. Got some hanging cheese. But take a look, guys. Take a look. Some yummy, delicious. Now I know this is going to be hot, so we're going to blow. All right. Scalding hot. But here comes that bite you've been waiting for. Chicken, cooked, moist. Garlic and chicken and cheese and yes. Make it, guys. It's easy. You saw how easy it is. Hey, if I can do it, anybody can. You know that. So, Mayday's got nothing on his subscribers. Incidentally, I want to thank all my new subscribers. Welcome. Plenty of room for you here on the channel. Share my videos on your Facebook. It helps me get new subscribers. Your friends might love this channel. I love it. I love doing it for you. And I hope you love it too. But until next time, you know what time it is. Mayday is out of here.